make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, man. Nobody interviews the everyday brother. Um, I think Obsidian uses that somewhat as a tagline. This ain't about Obsidian. I wound up seeing a short or clip with Big Ja and was it Craig Smith? Is that Craig Smith? I think so. And it was talking about how celebrities do podcasts and they talk with other celebrities, regular people who become famous podcasters. They interview celebrities. He said, but why don't the celebrities interview the everyday brother? Like, brothers have an opinion that needs to be talked about. And I thought about it, and that's part of what the manosphere has been about, is like the perspective of everyday brothers, like working class, blue collar, you know, um, just the everyday guy. And let me back up before I go there. We used to talk about how you didn't have you didn't have a voice for everyday black men on any of these panels that they would have on media, whether it be CNN, MSN, NBC, MSNBC, BET. When it had, was it TV1? What was that? Whatever. I think that was what Roland Martin was on, I believe. All those stations, right? And we would say, they don't want to hear what we got to say. And the interesting thing about it is, I still think people want to hear what we have to say, but they don't want us to be the one to publicly say it because we might actually benefit from it. You get what I'm saying? People don't want to interview the everyday brother because they poach off the everyday brother's life and experiences and wisdom and words or whatever, and they monetize it. So people might talk to brothers, outside of the interview, but then show up and getting paid for an interview and go, da 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 da. And it's like, oh man, this guy is so intelligent, he's so smart. No, he's just a thief. He stole his brother's whole, he had a conversation with a brother and put it on TV and is trying to, take credit for it. People are making a living doing it. The ladies do it too. These black men want this, 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 this. How you know? And the weird part about that one is, in both cases, you have men who for the most part don't hang around everyday brothers speaking for brothers. And then you have women who normally aren't in relationships with brothers speaking for brothers. And I realized that at some point we got to ask the serious question: are everyday brothers your social media chattel slaves? And that's using slavery as an extension of it. It might be too far, but I had to say it because of the concept. You know, you want brothers to give you something. You want to benefit off of a brother's labor for free, and his expressions of his labor for free, and you get to live high on the hog. That's why I said it that way. But people go, okay, well, why don't you interview brothers? Well, I mean, that's interesting. I mean, I might. I might have done it before. I don't have a problem doing it. But, the other thing is, I don't think brothers aren't accustomed to being listened to. So, unfortunately, an everyday black man is kind of like a smart kid at a cool school where it's not cool to be smart. You got to dumb yourself down. That's what happens. A smart brother got to dumb himself down, and unfortunately, then when it's time to actually turn it on, you need a grace period or whatever. So oh man, dope. I got a message. And I have to bring this up because I don't like. There was a time where you were younger, you would have conversations with your granddad and your uncles, your father, you know, and they would talk to you about life and manhood, and you would ask them questions. When I was such and such age, this was going on and that was going on, and you got to learn their experience, right? And now we're probably generations removed from that happening. So you got people speaking for brothers who never had brothers' best interests at heart in the first place. So it's bad. It's really bad. So when it's time to, and so when brothers have an opinion, it gets drowned out by, our opinions are basically cancel culture ready, you know, and I don't mean that they're offensive. I mean whatever we say is going to be, they're going to spin it to make it cancel culture ready because they don't want us to publicly have an opinion, so thus not interviewing brothers. Like, think about it. um there are certain brothers who are prominent in this space who speak on men's topics, you know alive, and some has passed on. People spent more time talking about them than talking to them when they could talk to them. You get what I'm saying? So that has become such a norm that people think it's basically, it makes sense, it's logical, and it's normal, to the sense of people aren't paying attention to the fact that something's wrong with having an opinion for a person that you haven't really talked to. So I think that's a good point. Like, who nobody interviews the everyday brother, to the point that our kids don't really know us because they even get an opinion of us from other people. So yeah, I'm done on this one. Tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.